Evening folks, thanks for joining me in this rather flappy tent. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm here on the top of the Berwyn Mountains. It's the second time I've been here. The first time was actually my first ever solo wild camp, which was about 7 years ago. And it was a great camp, but there were some aspects that troubled me a bit. I got a bit fatigued. I underestimated how heavy my bag was. I didn't really have enough food with me. And I think the worst thing was the terrain was really boggy and, of course, very steep. So generally I was just inexperienced, and it was hard work, and I actually felt quite faint at one point. I was a bit worried about whether I was going to make it back to the scooter without keeling over. So you'd think 7 years later, lesson learned, but to be honest, the Berwyns have handed me my arse once again. I've come a different route this time from the other side, and it looked like I had loads of time. I gave myself a good 5 hours because I arrived at 2 o'clock at the village and I had 5 hours to get up here before sunset. It's only a few miles, but I only just made it. And again, it was a combination of just not realising how steep a lot of it was. I had to keep stopping. I'm not very fit at the moment, which doesn't help. And also the terrain was just really boggy. Despite the dry summer that we've had, it was still really wet underfoot. My feet and socks got soaking. Socks are drying there now. So, yeah, I only just got here for sunset, got the tent up. So I'm in it now. I am a bit worried that I've perhaps brought the wrong tent, because it's a bit like I've brought a knife to a gunfight. I'm in the Enan, and really I probably should have brought the Sulu, which is a lot more resilient in winds like this on a summit, because I am pretty much at the top of the Berwyn Mountains at sort of 800 metres. So I've used all the mods that I've put on here before to try and make it a little bit more stable in higher winds. So fingers crossed it stays put and I'll be okay. I think I'll be in for a bit of a rough night's sleep though, because it is noisy and flappy. And there's not as much room, it's not as high and inner. I think it's going to be flapping in my face, but we'll see. Okay, well I've got a very boring real termat boil in the bag meal. I was trying to keep everything light, today. So I'm going to get that on, have something to eat, have a chamomile tea, rock and roll, eh? And I think get off to bed quite early. What time is it now? Mind you, it's 8:30 now, so by the time I've done that, I think I shall be about ready to quit. If the wind dies down a bit and I can be bothered, I may try and get some night shots. I've got a new lens which is on the camera now, which is quite a wide angle, high aperture lens, which means it should be good for astrophotography. But whether I can be bothered to stand out there in this cold wind is another thing. So no promises. Okay, let's get some dinner on then. They're not worth the money though, really. Well, it's turning out to be quite a boring morning, to be honest. It's just gone 9 o'clock and I'm still stuck in the tent. As you can see, it's very claggy. I'm in the middle of a cloud basically, but a cloud that's going pretty fast. It's got to be over 20 miles an hour. So there's nothing to see out there and I could get quite wet quite quickly. I want to do some photography because there's some spectacular views up here, but obviously can't see a thing at the moment, so I'm hoping it'll burn off. It's supposed to be a sunny day down in the villages nearby by about 9 o'clock, so quite how it can be pure sunshine but be cloudy up here with fast moving clouds, I'm not quite sure. Unless there's some strange thing going on where there's just a cloud constantly sweeping across the top of this hill and nowhere else, but that's a bit weird. So I'm optimistic that if I give it an hour or so it'll start to clear and I might be able to get some shots. In the meantime I'm just chilling out, last bit of food, jelly, teeth and lips, breakfast of champions. Might do another coffee as well. Shall I? Well, this lovely stone circle means that I'm nearly back at the village, so hopefully the new Vespa is still there and in one piece. It's probably a good time now to say goodbye and thanks for joining me. Hope to see you next time.